Honorable Prime Minister, Excellency Dr. Fahad Al-Turki, Chairman, Arab Monetary Fund, Dr. Anita Zaidi, President Gates Foundation, Cabinet colleagues, Governor State Bank, Karan Das, CEO of Vikas, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening. It's a real pleasure to join this important event where we are launching the Buna-Raast connectivity project. I would like to take this opportunity to warmly welcome Dr. Al-Turki to Pakistan. Excellency, while this is a critical initiative, I also want to put it in the context of a larger engagement that we are having with the government of Saudi Arabia. When we were under Prime Minister's leadership, we attended the World Economic Forum in Riyadh. We were greatly appreciative when Excellency Al-Tuwaijri mentioned Vision 2030 for Government of Saudi Arabia. And that was obviously launched back in 2016. And the results are already there 8 years later. And the Prime Minister was quick to take up on this initiative for him to volunteer success transfer and whatever the journey that you have been on. And he instructed me to take that forward. And I just wanted to mention that to you because a week back, we had a very constructive meeting with the transformation team. And inshallah, over the next 6 months, we are going to learn as much as we can in terms of your transformation journey, sir, because it's all about people, process, technology. Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony was also present in that meeting. And inshallah, we will try to learn, not only in the context of what we are talking about here, but the whole of the government and the whole of the nation approach through which KSA has moved forward, mashallah. And therefore, we are very grateful for that offer, and we are certainly going to take you up on that offer. Before I come to the topic at hand, I do want to talk about the macroeconomic stability, which is now taking roots in Pakistan's economy, which is reflected in the twin deficits which are coming into check, stable currency, foreign exchange reserves, which now, alhamdulillah, are at 2 months import cover, sovereign rating getting upgraded, policy rate moving down, and the investor confidence coming back into the country, not only in terms of institutional flows, which have come either into the equity side or on the fixed income side, but also some of the investments which have come on the B2B side in the form of Aramco, investing in Go Petroleum, Gunvor coming in, BYD as the largest EV brand in the world, as cases in point which reflect the confidence which is coming back into the economy. And from our perspective, Excellency, EFF, the extended fund facility, which we are going into with the fund, will help bring further permanence to this macroeconomic stability. And under that, we remain very committed to the structural reforms, whether it's on the taxation side, whether it's on the energy side, and whether it's on the energy side. So I just want to contextualize the discussion which we are having here now. Now, the remittance flows are a lifeline for any country, and they're certainly a lifeline for Pakistan. In the last fiscal year, these workers' remittances grew by 11% year on year compared to the previous fiscal year. And I was with the governor this morning, and that positive trajectory continues into July. And we had about $3 billion of remittance flows in the month of July. And this is obviously a function, because these things don't happen overnight. This is a function of a lot of things which happened on the macroeconomic stability side, but also in the context of administrative measures which were taken to curb illegal remittance channels, and therefore it is now producing results. Now, while our efforts are beginning to bear fruit, we must do more to sustain this positive growth trend. The informal market, unfortunately, still captures a sizable share of the remittance flows. Addressing this challenge is a key priority for the reducing economic leakages. Dr. Neeta, as you just mentioned, and I was hearing you, and you're absolutely right, digitalization is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. It brings transparency, it brings client friendliness, and it certainly helps reduce the leakages in the system. And leakages are not just in the context of remittances. ये जो leakages का कारोबार है, हमने इसको ख़त्म करना है. And you have been hearing the Prime Minister repeatedly saying, whether these are leakages in our remittance flows, whether these are leakages in our tax system, and whether these are leakages in our power system. We call it leakages, but all of this is ultimately about corruption. And it's about people, process, technology. And we'll need to combine all of these as we go forward, because that's how this economy has to go forward, including the remittance discussion that we are having now. So that's why today's event is so important. The Buna-Raast connectivity project holds great promise, and it ticks so many boxes. And I'm not going to go into that. I had a long speech which I had written, but Vikas has talked about it in great detail. Then Governor State Bank has talked about the upsides. Dr. Neeta, you mentioned that in terms of how imperative is this initiative, and we make the synergistic agenda make work, because by reducing complexity and the cost, it provides obviously an attractive alternative to formal and otherwise informal channels like Hawala and Hundi. And what I've been told is that it will add additional $6 billion, which in itself is very promising, and I think is the right thing to do. The only thing, Vikas, which I don't agree with, is the time period that you are given to me, which is 5 years. So I think the Prime Minister will also maybe talk about it. It's not going to happen in 5 years, my friend.
We are holding workshop right now.
Okay, very good, because I think it's important that we do get and materialize this upside, because it's out there, and we have to bring it into the formal channel. It doesn't need and shouldn't require 5 years, and I'm sure you'll hear from the Prime Minister himself as well. The other thing is about financial inclusion, Dr. Neeta, and fully appreciate what you said, also with respect to the diversity agenda and the fact that a lot of these remittances are being sent by women, so you're absolutely right. Another thing from my perspective, also in the context of my previous career, in terms of the compliance agenda, in terms of anything that you bring back into the formal channel, KYC, AML, sanctions, transaction monitoring. This is what is going to keep the country on a sustainable path and track vis-a-vis staying on the right side of FATF, because we never ever want to go back onto the grey list. And this is going to be a very critical component of that as we go forward. So I think it ticks so many boxes, and a lot of speakers before me have already talked about it, that we, from our perspective, are ready, willing, able to support, help, assist any way we can. And I not only speak on behalf of the Ministry of Finance, but whole of the government, and I'm sure the Prime Minister will speak about it as well, because we have to make it successful. I would like to again thank the Honourable Prime Minister that he has graced this occasion, but I know how important this is for him vis-a-vis digital Pakistan and our reform agenda. And it combines a lot of these things together. I would like to congratulate Governor Sahab Aapko, the State Bank of Pakistan, also putting us on Raast, because these are the payment rails through which this connectivity is now coming through. Also to the Arab Monetary Fund, Excellency, we are very grateful to you. And of course, Karandas, on this partnership, and this partnership with the government, as you've said, Vikas, is multifaceted, but certainly for this, and Dr. Neetha, for the generosity that has always been shown by the Gates Foundation for funding it. And inshallah, I'm sure this will bring dividends in terms of this project for the Pakistani workers based in the Arab region, and would certainly deliver economic dividends for Pakistan and Arab region, inshallah.
I would now like to request our chief guest for the event, the Honorable Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mia Shahbaz Sharif Sahab, to come on stage. Sir, we will begin with the handing over of mementos before we request you for your speech. Can I please request His Excellency, Dr. Fahad Al-Turki, Chairperson of the Arab Monetary Fund, to come on stage. We want to present you a memento to recognize your role and to commemorate your participation in the inaugural event of the implementation phase of Buna-Raast. Thank you so much. Next up, can I please request Mr. Jameel Ahmed Saab, the Governor